Saludos a toda la afición de la lucha libre. Este que les habla es Michael Morales Torres, integrante del equipo de lucha libre online. Y tengo el honor de presentarles a mi invitada en la tarde de hoy, directamente desde Lisboa, Portugal, para el mundo, pero residiendo en Alemania, Killer Kelly. Killer Kelly, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. And you?
Everything's good so far here in Puerto Rico. How are things in Germany during this world crisis due to the COVID-19?
Well, the gyms are open. Training at the WXW Academy just started this week, so life is like it's getting better.
It's getting back to normal, basically. But Germany, so far, it's one of the best countries in terms of their health system. And death number could have been way higher, but they managed it so good so far. I don't know how they did that, but things are going really, really well for them. How was that change for you? Let's start speaking about a girl from Lisbon, Portugal. I visit Portugal, beautiful country, great weather. Why does Killer Kelly decide to transfer from Lisbon, Portugal to Germany?
Well, to have any sort of success in wrestling, I realized that I had to move out of Portugal. So even though it's a beautiful country and I miss it dearly, I had to move out. And I was I was searching where I could get better at wrestling. Like I started in my hometown promotion of Wrestling Portugal, but my training could go only so far. And then I started to research which are the best wrestling schools in Europe. So I found the WXW Wrestling Academy here in Germany. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to spend a week and see how it goes. Train with the best in the world. We had Walter as the head trainer. Timothy Thatcher was one of the trainers as well. I was like, okay, this is the place to be. So I moved and yeah.
So life was easier in terms of pro wrestling in Germany than in Portugal. Portugal is a country famous for multiple things, but not for pro wrestling. You are its biggest exportee. How does this make you feel that in a country where pro wrestling it's not the norm, Killer Kelly was good enough to rise and represent a whole nation all around the world?
I thank you, and I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I feel like I just, took the risk that many people from Portugal don't. Like, if they want to pursue wrestling, it's just like a dream that you cannot accomplish. So I was one of the the brave ones that decided to step out of Portugal, a country which is only known for its football.
Yes.
So I had
Football, good food, good beer, great
yeah,
touristic
true, true, true,
places.
true. But in terms of sports, it's like the only thing that matters is football and Cristiano Ronaldo. That's it. So yeah, I took my chance and so far like it paid off.
So you made your debut in pro wrestling in 2016, um, under just the Kelly name, not the Killer part. Then you made the transition from Kelly to Killer Kelly, and in just 2 years, 2 years, you managed to sign at the moment with the biggest pro wrestling promotion in the world, WWE, specifically with the NXT UK brand. But before doing your NXT UK run, you were part of the Mae Young Classic with the best women wrestlers in all the world. You were with names like Meiko Satomura. There were so many talented women over there. How was this experience for you?
It's honestly, it was the best experience in my life. I loved every single minute of it, every single minute. And to have a match with Meiko Satomura was a dream come true, and it's one of my favorite matches ever. Like everything, the match itself, the story, being in the ring with Meiko, like It was amazing. It was an experience that I would love to relieve. Oh, sorry, to to live daily. It was so good, and I loved it.
It is amazing because in your technically short career, because many people are constantly looking for opportunities, they go into a whole run in the independent circuit, they can wait for decades doing this, and for them to sign with WWE, for example, many people like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, among many other wrestling names, were competing in the independent circuit for years before they had the opportunity. But Killer Kelly did it in just 2 years, so that tells people how good you are in that square circle. But let's talk about your opponents so far. You mentioned Meiko Satomura as possibly one of your favorite matches so far, but you've been in the ring with names like Toni Storm, Hana Kimura, Piper Niven, Jassy Gabert, Allison Kay, Jinny, Lufisto, Dakota Kai, among many, many other names. So far, obviously you mentioned the Meiko Satomura match, but so far, what was the match, or which was the match that changed your career and your perception about pro wrestling, and why?
Well, first of all, I've never faced Allison Kay. I was about to during this
Okay,
past WrestleMania week at Bloodsport, but it
and
didn't
it didn't
happen.
happen.
Yes, which
Okay, my
I'm very,
mistake.
very sad about that. um, but that one match, so I have to say it was the match where I lost the WXW Women's Championship. It was against Tony, and I'm before moving to Germany, I was very, very green. Like I would wrestle in Portugal and like just in training. And it was only one time per week, and I didn't take it seriously. So I only count my time as a pro wrestler since I moved to Germany. So that happened September 2017. And by December 2017, I 2017. Oh my God, 2018. Okay, I think I'm messing up dates. Don't worry. Like, ugh, my mind is terrible. Uh, so by
That's okay.
December, I won the WXW Women's Championship. So that was like one of my dearest accomplishments. And a month later, I lost it to Tony, and it was my first time facing her. So I feel like that was one of the bigger matches that I had in my very, very short career by that time, of course. And it really changed my perspective in wrestling, and I loved everything about it. I loved working with Tony. It was like my first time really getting to know her. She's a lovely person. She gave me a lot of insight about wrestling and how to be successful, etc. So I have to say it was that match that changed everything for me because um, a few months later, I was going for the first time to the UK and performing there, and the doors just opened. And in June, I was performing for WWE. So, since that match, like everything blew up.
So speaking about WWE, you had a 2-year run with the company. NXT UK, it's an interesting product where we can see wrestlers from literally all around the world. You can see them from the UK, Portugal, Spain, Germany, among many other countries, New Zealand, Australia, because Rhea Ripley was also there for a while. How was your experience with the WWE while being with the company, and how was the ambience back there in the locker room? How did everyone got together?
Well, I already had met everyone in the UK independents, so we all knew each other. So it was kind of weird being with a lot of people that I knew, and we are all in WWE. Like it was crazy. It was like, dude, I just saw you like past weekend at the WXW show or at the Progress show, and now we're here at the WWE. Like, it's crazy. But the whole experience was fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Um, just like being at the UK Performance Center, I learned so much. Um, from William Regal, he was there very often. It was crazy to learn from him. From Johnny Saint, and now known as Chris Hero. He would go there to the tapings, but he would go to the training week as well, and he would just be there and watch matches with us and give us training, and it was just like amazing. So it was a really good experience.
Unfortunately, that experience, well, not unfortunately because the world is your oyster, but your WWE run came to an end on
Yes.
January 2020. What's next for Killer Kelly in the pro wrestling industry? There are so many options. You have the opportunity to work in a lot of US promotions like All Elite Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, companies in Mexico like AAA, CMLL, and basically all around the world, WXW, which you've been working with for a while. What's next for Killer Kelly inside the pro wrestling industry?
Well, I had a lot of plans up until the COVID-19 hit.
Yeah.
I was I was gonna have a pretty busy WrestleMania week in America, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So my plans continue to be the same, is to be focused in WXW, continue working the independents in the Europe scene, go back to Japan. I wanna go back and possibly train with Mako and really stay there for more than 1 week, because the first time that I went, first and last, it was only 1 week, and I didn't get the time to soak it in and actually train with Mako and have a lot of matches. So to go back to Japan, and I want to take over the United States. Finally, I want to work there. I want to work for all those wonderful independents, and I don't know. I don't know what can happen.
There are a lot of alternatives right now. I mean, Mexico, it's an amazing country to grow up in terms of lucha libre and pro wrestling,
Yeah.
AAA, CMLL, The Crash, among many other promotions. Puerto Rico is also an interesting scene for independent pro wrestling. Panama as well with GWE. Would you be interested in wrestling in all Latin America if you had the opportunity?
Yes, of course. If I got the invite, I would love to.
So where can the promoters specifically can contact you via email? So we have our friends from DWE, and I'm going to say it in Spanish, a nuestros amigos de GWE en Panamá, nuestros amigos de Wrestling Superstar en Chile, amigos en Argentina, Imperio en Perú, tenemos también empresas en Ecuador, empresas en Colombia, Puerto Rico tenemos a CWA, WWL, WWC. Hay muchas empresas, esto es un talento excelente, estuvo en WWE, en NXT UK, Major Classic, la primera campeona de WXW en su momento dado, ha estado en el cuadrilátero con muchísimos talentos increíbles como Meiko Satomura, Tony Storm, entre muchísimos otros. El contacto para conseguir a Killer Kelly, the contact to find Killer Kelly as promoters is?
Me puedes contactar at kellywrestling@gmail.com.
Oh, so that was a surprise for me. You know Spanish.
Yes, I speak Portuguese. I'm from Portugal, so basically I know, yo puedo hablar un poquito de español. Yo hablo portuñol.
Hablas un poco entonces. So, let's make it a little bit more interesting. ¿Qué nos puedes hablar de tu canal de Twitch? Twitch.tv/Killer Kelly. ¿Qué podemos ver ahí?
Ay, esto va a ser un poco difícil de hablar de mi canal de Twitch en español.
So you can say
Maybe
it in English if you feel more
yeah.
comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm Joe. I was just since you spoke in Spanish, it was like it was amazing for me. For example, Tainara Conti, who's Brazilian, Portuguese speaking, also can manage Spanish really well. So it's something maybe cultural between Portugal and Brazil, maybe due to similar languages.
Yeah, they're
People
very
can.
similar. Yeah. But I prefer not to talk that much in Spanish because I know that I will botch some words. But but yeah, like my Twitch channel, so it's twitch.tv/Killer Kelly, and I stream a lot of horror games, which, as you can see by my name, Killer Kelly, I'm a little bit of a psycho. So I I'm I'm streaming Diablo, I'm streaming Outlast, and on Wednesdays, I always have a special stream, which is me reading horror stories. So it's cool.
So it's amazing. You have a variety of content besides pro wrestling, video games, horror stories, among many other things. Suscríbanse al canal de Killer Kelly en Twitch, twitch.com/Killer Kelly para más contenido. So what can you say to us about your Big Cartel and Pro Wrestling Tee store? What can we find there? Where can they contact you for your merch?
So they can go to killerkelly.bigcartel.com, where I ship worldwide. I have a lot of pictures. I have a special made notebook. I have stickers. I have t-shirts. And on my prowrestlingtees.com/killerkelly, I have all of my new designs and old designs. So please go there and buy some merch and support your new hottest independent pro wrestler.
Kelly, it's been such an honor to have you as our guest. Before leaving, what message can you send to all the fans in Latin America listening to you right now that want to start a career in pro wrestling, but maybe doesn't have the idea how to do it, where to start, where to go? What message can you send specifically to the young girls out there?
uh, do not give up on your dreams. I almost gave up on my dream, and imagine if I would do that. So never give up. Find, research a lot about good wrestling schools. If you really want to be a pro wrestler, invest in it. Invest in going to the gym and finding a good wrestling school, and just take risks. Try it out. If you do not like it, you can go back to your old life, but just try it out and you'll feel so good about it when it finally comes to fruition, that you can live your dream. So never give up.
Kelly, where can people can find you in social media?
They can find me at twitter.com/Kelly_WP, and on Instagram.com/Kelly Wrestling.
And WXW, where can the fans in Latin America can find their content in YouTube if they have some?
They have some, but they do not have full matches. So they have a streaming service, which is wxwnow.com. They have content in English and, of course, in German. So everyone can watch it.
Amazing, Kelly. It's been such an honor to have you as our guest. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and we wish you the best of lucks in this independent run.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome.
Thank you.